right. Make sure everything's going well. Check it out. All right. There we go. All right. I think we are in business. I think we're in business. What up, everybody? Welcome to the Sounds and Sights show with your host, Nick Signs. Now, today is a very special day because this show is the show designed exclusively for people that make music. So if you make music, consider this the place to be. This is actually a show that I've had in my mind for about a year now and have tried it in different capacities, but it was tough to try and find the right balance of what this show should be. But I think I found it, and I think you're going to like watching it here today. So, what is this show? This is the show specifically for music producers, songwriters, sound designers, mix engineers. This is the show dedicated to showing kind of the behind the scenes of an active artist, and doing kind of everything that I do on a day-to-day basis. Because I think there's value in seeing some of this stuff live. So if you know me, hi, my name is Nick Signs. I run the Sounds and Sights channel. It's my baby. I create all sorts of tutorials for music producers, songwriters. But when it comes to scripted content, sometimes I've noticed that you learn a lot more just from seeing somebody do stuff. I've watched Subtronics live streams. I've watched pretty much the live stream of any artist that I've loved over the past few years. And you learn more just from seeing people do stuff than necessarily some of the scripted content. And I want you guys to be able to ask questions. So if there's something that I'm doing, if there's something that I'm talking about, I'm right here for you. So, again, I would say bear with me as we kind of figure this journey out. But so one of the things that I wanted to just like start off with is, so I make like videos throughout the week of little learnings that I have, but it's hard to post that kind of stuff with the real context that I think it could use. So I wanted to kind of walk you through in a little bit more detail some of the snippets that I posted earlier this week, mostly because I think they're really good little tidbits. Starting with this one.
If you're a producer and you're starting
let's go ahead. Let's just watch this real quick, get the gist for kind of what I was saying. And then we're going to open it up. Oh, actually, let me, boom. And then we'll open it up in Ableton and actually show you guys what I'm talking about. So let's go ahead and watch the video real quick.
Nitpick like way too early. If you're a producer and you're starting to nitpick like way too early, like you're just starting off your sound and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a rabbit hole of making sure the EQ is perfect for your vocals.
Happens every time.
I got the perfect solution and it's free. It's so easy. All right, let me show you. So this is something I used to do all the time before I got these VSX headphones, which basically like they just model different environments, but you don't need headphones to do that. All you need to do is just pull up your favorite reverb. I really like rooms, so I'll use like Valhalla Room, but I mean, you could literally just pull up Ableton and just kind of make a room and put that on your master bus. So this way, one, it feels way more vibey because it feels like you're listening to it in like a club or like a room. So you're just feeling it. And two, it hides the details. It shrouds.
So this, I think, is a really easy tip to do and something that really transformed my mixes. Honestly, one of the things that's helped the most over the past year. And the reason for this is kind of weird and simple. It's basically just that by putting a reverb, putting something that kind of obfuscates some of those finer grained details, it really forces you to listen to the song in a very musical way where you just hear what's happening, but you can't bog yourself down in the details. So let me actually show you. Let's see, which project would be good for this? So I just actually mixed a song let's go ahead and we'll do a little example of it there. So this is a song. It's the project is called Lonely in NYC, but the song name is going to be Homesick. So this actually just got sent to mastering. So this is a real track. This is a song that'll be released in the very not so distant future. So what I'm talking about with this reverb trick is basically when you're in the early stages of a song, it can be tempting to go and follow the rabbit hole down to these little details like mixing, especially with mixing, like if you're tuning EQs or if you're, reaching for a compressor at a point where the idea of the song isn't really there yet, that can really disrupt your creative flow. So one of the things that I got inspired from these VSX headphones, which I'll actually show you kind of what they do. So VSX. So what this does and what we're going to recreate using just stock plugins is this. So let's go ahead and listen to the song, maybe just like a little snippet so you can get a vibe. We'll put it to full master volume. So this is the song itself. Oh, why is it not playing? Oh no, hate to see that happen. No matter. I think we'll grab them. Boom. Crisis averted. So let's go ahead and listen to the final kind of mix of this.
Like I'm so far from home, I start to grip on my soul and I hold tight. I hope for dear life. So I just put on my headphones and everything's alright.
Cool. So, what this is going to do is actually put this into a room. So check it out. And you know what? Let's level match that just because I know that my voice might be a little higher with the stream, so we can turn it up a little bit. But listen to it. So it's basically just putting it in a room.
So I just put on my headphones and
that's in like the most detail, Barfield and midfield. If we do the little speaker here, you can really, all you can hear is just the voice and the melody. You could hear drums, like I have drums later on in the song. But again, it's stripped down. There's really not much more than just the barest elements. You can hear what the drums are doing. You can hear that there is a voice. You can hear that there is melody. But other than that, everything else is just obscured. So the main benefit of that is basically you're really forced to just focus on the song. So focusing on the melody, focusing on the rhythm of the voice, focusing on the drums, focusing on the transients, the things that you can hear no matter how much of the frequency spectrum is there. Having that is super helpful. And you don't need this plugin to do it. So like, honestly, what I would do before is I would have two different kind of like master, I guess, main things. So I would do Valhalla Reverb. I would do something like this. Listen to it this way. Oh my gosh. Let's turn that down just a tad.
All the times just to make sure I'm okay, but I ain't okay at all.
So what you can do by basically putting this on your master bus is it goes from sounding like something that's very sterile and, going all
the times just to make sure I'm okay.
And it turns it into this vibe where you just feel like you're listening to it on a stage, in some room where it's like real life or like a club. You know that feeling where you've been to a music show and a moment hits you, the music is all around you, and that's what I feel like when I listen to this. So not only does it help just with really feeling the emotion and the vibe of the song, because that's really any mix decisions that you make should just be in service of that. So once you can kind of more directly peek into, hey, what's this song really doing? What's the vibe here? What's the emotion? How is this song making me move? Once you can really hone in on those things first with the production, the arrangement, everything else that comes before the mixing, it's just focusing on the right things at the right time. So it does two things, as I said in the video, where one, it kind of allows you to get a little bit more inspired, and two, good for mixing.
A lot of times just to make sure I'm okay.
Nice. So another thing that I'll do actually is this. So a lot of people have these like little Auratone speakers. I'll show you what those look like. Auratone speakers. These guys, have you ever seen these before? They're like these little tiny boxes, but basically they sound like this.
A lot of times just to make sure
I don't even have, I think it's literally like 4. I wonder what the frequency response is. Let's see. Frequency response of Auratone. I think it's like C2. What are they called? 5C. That doesn't seem right. I feel like it's Auratone. 80 hertz? I don't believe that. That's crazy. Yeah, maybe this one, 150. I want the cube. That's interesting. I didn't think that it'd be able to reproduce that much. For some reason, somebody had it in my head as like 400 to 4K. So that's actually what I did. So that may even be a mistake. But hey, that's what we're doing. So let's say 400 to about 4K.
a lot of times just to make sure I'm okay.
So literally just listening to it from that filter allows you to like just let go of the mixing of the low end, let go of the super crispy, high stuff. But again, just at the very beginning of the song creation process, you just want to focus on the right things. And that's your main building blocks. So the more that you can push the finer grain detail work out of the way, like balancing the low end perfectly, or, making sure that the high end is perfectly crisp and not harsh, all these things can be accomplished with just good arrangement, and this helps with that, I believe. So what else is going on this week? Automation. This is something that actually might be in this same session too. Let's take a look at this real quick.
Right here, those are volume automations for my voice when I'm
going to show you this
consonant K. Even
in
on
real
this
time.
wonderful microphone where everything else sounds great, my Ks are a little intense. So instead of mangling my sound with EQ curve, just turn down the volume.
So, automation, highly underrated. It's a pain, but it works. So let me show you actually exactly. This is literally the session that I had up. So let me show you. Oh yeah, you can see right here. So it's mostly with this vocal. When I say, like here, let's go through the lines. Solo the vocal.
When I feel like
Let's take this off.
When I feel like I'm so far from home, I feel like I'm so far.
So that has the automation on, but let's turn that off and you can see what we're dealing with here.
Like I'm so far, I feel like I'm so far from, like I'm so.
So right here,
It's
a little poking at my earballs. So how do you usually solve this problem? I'll go through my thought process. So my initial thought was to do some sort of like multiband, where maybe I just take this range and duck it every.
I'm so far from home. I'm so far from home.
But that's just overkill because at this point the vocals are already very finished. So I liked the tone of them initially, and now I'm kind of sucking the life out of them by having to deal with this only really one little mini spot. So of course, there are other things that you can do. You could try like a de-esser. Sometimes the DS will catch things like this, but a lot of times it doesn't. So what I did here was just a little bit of volume automation. So super simple. And with the volume automation, it's actually pretty easy to visually see kind of what's going on here. So you'll see, let's take a look at this. So I'll re-enable the automation, maybe just show you exactly kind of what it did. So again, that's without and then with.
Like I'm so far, like I'm so far, like I'm so far.
So definitely a little smoother. So with these, I kind of end up using this shape where I go like kind of a big slant down, and then I won't kind of go like that. I'll bring it up to have it be hopefully a little bit more natural sounding. And again, you can just kind of hang on to this and kind of drag it up or down depending on how close to the original you want it to sound. I don't think I'm in the way here. Yeah. So again, did that over here.
Grip on my grip.
So you can see this like kind of almost like white noisy kind of waveform where it's not a note like this is. Those are going to be your consonants. Those are going to be your S sounds, your K sounds. And you can see, I mean, there's literally like this little ching little guy right here, but we end up ducking it.
Grip on.
So that G and grip. So let's listen to it with and without so I can show you again.
Start to grip on my, start to grip.
Yeah, see, it pokes out at you. It nails you right in the ear balls. So this is with the automation enabled.
Start to grip on my, start to grip on my.
Beautiful. So that's not even really a trick. That's just like something that is super helpful. It's kind of time consuming, honestly, looking through the waveform. Adjusting how much you're reducing. But overall, it's really, really helpful. So I would say that's honestly one of the more underrated things across the board is manual volume automation. And this is something that even before you start thinking about mixing related things, like again, I even got ahead of myself. I was like, oh, I can solve this with EQ or de-essing or no. Just some manual volume automation goes a long way to preserving just kind of like that natural sound, because you're not changing the tone, you're not changing the sound or the character really of that K. When I say when I'm drunk and I'm not mangling it. I'm literally just turning it down. I'm not changing its frequency. Turn it down. If there's something that's poking out at your ears, just try some good old throw utility on it, old reliable, and try just turning down the volume. It really works. It's unbelievable. So what else do we got here? Check out to see what other videos
Today
we're on this
mixing a
week.
track. First things first, I have my stems, so that's the mix bus, and then I have a few reference.
Oh man, I need to use a different mic. You hear how SE that was? This could use a little volume automation, honestly. Maybe I'll do that for my TikTok videos going forward.
Of songs that sound similar that I can quickly kind of bounce back and forth between.
So I won't play my references on this show because I'll get in trouble with the YouTube. But if one thing that I guess maybe you might take away from even just the way that I go about mixing my songs is that it's set up in a way where it's very easy to compare what my mix is sounding like to what other mixes are sounding like. This is actually an earlier version of my own song. So I could compare and actually make sure that mix changes that I'm making are changes that I want. So I'll actually show you. So this is this is down really quiet. Oh shoot, sorry about that, guys. Let's take a listen to.
Like I'm so far from home, I start to grip on my soul and I hold tight. Like I'm so far from home, I start to grip on my soul and I hold tight.
So overall, there's a massive difference, and I wish I could show you these two to show that the difference is actually in the right direction. Because at first you might be like, whoa, wait a minute, this sounds Like this original one, let's call this the OG version. And we'll call this one like the final mix, just to make it extra clear. Might be like, whoa, this one sounds more open and it sounds wider.
Feel like I'm so far from home, I start to grip on my soul and I hold tight.
But the truth is, it's actually, this version sounds way closer to virtually every reference in different even across genres that I had. So this one is Amargura. This is like a reggaeton song. Jerk was by Oliver Tree, kind of like a pop rock song. And then Startender by by a Boogie with the Hoodie. Dance hip hop. And all of them kind of had this similar vibe in common, where the vocal was very much out in front, and then you had everything else, like literally just a ching step behind it. And one of the things that I've noticed in like creating something that feels like that, where you have something right here, and then you have this behind it. This, pushing that back, is done with a few different things. But one of the ways that that's accomplished is, one, just lower volume, and two, kind of shaving off a little bit of that high end. So you notice that I actually, for this other bus, which is basically every other melodic thing that isn't the vocal. Oh, that's not right. Here, I think I had it on the master. I'm shaving off the sides. Well, actually, you know what? I think this is applied to my whole mix. So maybe that wasn't quite right. Scratch that. I think this was mostly just to kind of like bring everything more up to par. But regardless, what I said still stands. Pushing everything back, volume and EQ. And by pushing stuff back into the background, it actually makes the vocal pop out more. So that's one thing that I had to kind of unlearn throughout the years, was every time I wanted my vocal to get more and more in your face, I would crank the high end, I would compress it more, I would end up mangling it, because simple fact was the things that were next to it were just they had too much energy. They were too far in front already. It's like if you have everything else here and you have your vocal right here, yeah, it's in front, but how much more in front can it be if this is it's strangling it for space? You know what I'm saying? So the way you can make your vocal way out in front is by pushing this back. So, because, this art that we do, it's all about contrast, and especially with regards to mixing. So this is one of the things that I really learned, which was give lead its space. It needs space to breathe. Like, honestly, I could have gotten away with this mix if I turned the other instruments down another 5 decibels. Like let's see what that would have sounded like.
My soul and I hold tight tonight. Home in your bed, what I give to be home in your bed again. 'Cause you gon' be here with me when the party ends.
Not a wrong mix, just a slightly more like vocal centered mix. So this is what I ended up having. Because I really wanted the instruments to be right there with it. But again, play with volume. All right, what else we got going on? So automation. Yeah, automation is just one of the big ones. This was actually, so let's take a look at this one real quick.
I've been making music in the studio for over a year, and nobody told me that if you just take your studio monitors and
scoot them in a little bit, it actually allows you to hear the depth of the elements in your mix way easier.
Yo, I've been in this studio for a year. And I don't know if you can see it. Hold on, let's go back to me real quick. So this is literally, as you can see, I'm on a green screen right now, but this is a real picture of my studio that I took earlier today. As you can see, hold on, let me make sure I'm pointing in the right direction. Oh God, this is testing my spatial awareness. So these speakers were, oh God, were here, and here. Let me just tell you, they were out wider. And it wasn't necessarily that I was superly trying to do that. It was just that this desk, the orientation of this desk kind of required it. There's like an AC vent that's in the way. So I ended up having them very out wide. And part of me liked it because as a producer, we get so used to dealing with headphones. We're in our headphones all the time. We're listening to music in headphones. We're producing in headphones. Having that kind of clear left-right is very familiar. So I literally moved the speakers out left, right, pretty much all the way. And while that sounded good, it sounded pretty cool. It sounded like this big sound stage. It sounded like the kind of engulfing environment that you'd expect from headphones. Sounding good didn't translate to my mixes sounding. And I didn't realize that. I didn't know that was holding me back until, by happenstance, because I'm a crazy person, I rearranged my studio probably once every 2 weeks. Realistically, I move everything around just to see what's up. But just by doing that, I ended up scooching the speakers in, like to the point where you can see it. They're like, probably not helpful, but they're basically like 3 feet apart. Yeah, honestly, maybe like 3.5 feet apart. Very, very close together. And I could reach out there. So they're probably a good, maybe 3.5 feet. So a nice little tight triangle. And it actually really helped. It helped a lot. Everything sounded a little bit more mono, but the result of that was almost a little similar to what I was talking about earlier with kind of listening to your music just in different ways, hearing it in this more tighter stereo image, like a little bit closer to mono, made the things that were supposed to be up in your face in the mix, it pushed them out even further. So I was able to kind of more adeptly perceive the depth of the mix. So regardless of what kind of monitors you have, if you don't have any monitors at all, then don't worry about this. But if you have studio monitors, or if you're thinking about getting studio monitors, definitely pay attention to, if you're not using a ruler or something to actually make sure that the triangle is perfect, really just pay attention to playing around with the orientation, because it'll tell you different stuff. And I found so far that having them closer together is much more boring a sound, but it translates to better mixes. Who would have thought? More boring, but more representational of like what's actually happening in the mix. So sometimes boring is better. What can I tell you? Nice. Those are most of the videos that I did this week. Let's see, I did a few other ones, but mostly, yeah. I think those were like the important ones. I would say using reverb early on in the process, automating, and playing around with your monitor position. Sweet. Going on. One thing that I kind of wanted to do is like, all right, so I go onto Reddit a lot. And I always go on the EDM production subreddit. So let's go ahead and see like actually what's oh no. There we go. Let's see what's going on in the EDM production land. I'm very curious. So maybe see what's going on. All right, let's see. How do you guys make atmospheres for your track? Any tips and tricks to fill up the frequency spectrum? I use pads. They usually, but they usually sound like shit. Sometimes I try to do, say, like the root note of a song and write a fifth above that or something. Seem like weird tips, but maybe my presets aren't great. Still learning. It's fun. You know, honestly, for my genre, I haven't really relied all that much on pads. I know it's a thing for kind of creating that space in the mix. The one thing that I have, well, I guess let's see. You guys make atmospheres. I mean, reverb. Let's see what the people say. Valhalla Shimmer, Supermassive, some presets. Reverb. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll put reverb on things mix. That's not really. I guess that's atmosphere. There's some vocal sounds into adding reverb. Okay. True. So I guess I suppose like echo, reverb. Though one of my favorite things to do, and I don't know why I just thought of this, but I remember on either an interview or a stream or something like that, deadmau5 said that what he'll do occasionally just to add some openness and air in his tracks is he will go up to the roof of his house, set up a microphone, and just record the wind. Like literally just probably clipping the microphone doing that. But it works. I've actually tried it. Like open splice. I wonder. Let's take this track that I have. Let's reopen it because I made some changes and I did that. Let's see what happens when we add different airs and different textures to it. So let's see, splice. I wonder if we can just add. Let's see. Yeah, like something like this. Ooh. Like a wintry storm? I went a little cleaner than that. That one seemed like it was distorting a little bit. Let's try that one. And this one. Like even just that, and then maybe we could put it in the background a little bit. Let's just play around with it. Let's take the intro guitars to this song and see what happens when we add a little bit of atmosphere. And then we can reply and tell them that, hey, wind samples are the way to go. You know, I feel like the nerves have like gone away a little bit. I don't know why. I do this every day, literally every day for hours. But for some reason, whenever I go to do it live, I feel like I have to do something special, but that's not exactly what this is. Like a lot of making music is stuff like this, where you go in a Reddit thread and see, post about atmosphere. And then you're like, oh, like what do people do for atmosphere? And then you're like, oh, I heard in the vlog once that if you take a mic and put it up on your house and get some wind noises, then that's atmosphere. And then here we are in Splice adding wind gusts to a song. And I feel like that's what I wanted this show to be. So regardless of what happens with with the show, like this is what I want. This is what I want it to be for you guys, to actually just see how rumble tumble it can be sometimes. You know, there's a time to organize, and then there's a time to rumble tumble. Right now, we're rumbling and tumbling. So let's go ahead and add. Oh God. See what happens. See what would have happened if we added some wind. Let's, you know what? I have mini meter on my or on my second. Let's see what's going. Now this would be an example of going into the weeds when you don't need to. See, I'm already reaching for an EQ when, you know what I mean? I didn't even try turning it down yet. I just immediately went to the Pro Q3. Delete that shit. Turning it up on my end a little bit. I wonder what else we could put in there. Like, we could maybe even add a little bit more space to this. You know what? I'm gonna use headphones. I feel like I want to be in it. All right, let's hear this. Let's make this a little bit more big. Should we try room or vintage verb? See what a room would sound like instead. This almost sounds like I'm in an igloo. Ooh, or one thing that I actually really like is, actually, you know what? So let me show you a real example of adding some atmosphere. So this is a song, and I can play this because this is my own music. At the end of this song, called "This Time Is," oh wait, is it "This Time Is Different"? I think it's maybe "I Was Built Strange."
There's a disconnect.
Yeah, listen to this. So at the end of the song, I have birds chirping, and I did a Foley of a playground, and it really, I mean, you can feel it, you can hear it. The end of the song is like very ethereal, you know. It's like, I just made my dreams come true. It's like this sigh of relief. So I was asking myself, like, what can I do to create that kind of like just playful, like just kind of vibe.
So
What is this? Can you hear it?
Just know that I was built this way, so I could do something great, so I could burn it down in flames.
It feels like it's in a space. You feel like you're literally outside, like, you know, in a New York City park or something, and you hear some birds chirping, you hear some kids doing whatever the hell they're doing. It doesn't necessarily need to be that on the nose, but yeah, so adding some just real atmosphere sounds like wind. So I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna add that here. So how many tips and tricks? That was really fun. I'm gonna write it, and then we'll summarize it and make it legible for Reddit. I'm gonna rest my feet. It's been a long day. Whew. I don't know if you guys can't really see it. Right now I have my feet down below. It's like what it ends up being so much. Sometimes I'll use uh for real like environment sounds. I'll say environment in uh, hang on a plate. I want to find that like I want to find that one to be sure. You head mouse mic on. I know. I feel like I remember that. It's probably on. I don't want to say it because if it's not right, I feel like I remember seeing head mouse sticking a mic on his. Subtle. Is that not a word? Dibble. Face. Neck. Boom. Sweet. All right. What else we got? And production. Opt from the Discord. Oh. Records. I know Doctor. I'm an admin for. I feel like Discord servers. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like sometimes I'll go in, I'll be active for days, and then just I'm making. Wait, where are the actual? Oh, that's from today. I was gonna say that couldn't have been the top thread from this. Ooh, Black Friday deals. Denathan. Or they got. Oh, you know what? I feel like I saw the third was the music production tutorials that changed your life. Yo, I got one. Hold on. This is for my heavy music people. It was by Odd Prophet. layer base. This.
Wrong.
Slightly. If you have any inkling of wanting to create tear out bass, or really just kind of dubstep in general, this tutorial was superly helpful. I'll actually show you. I think I added it to my default set. So I'll literally, hold on. Go. Let's open up my default set. Show you what I'm talking about. So basically what I did was I followed his tutorial and I ended up with, like, I kind of diverted course halfway through, but general principles were pretty much the same. Place. Yeah, adding tear out starter. Not gonna. I almost just want to like. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put it in there. Simplest tab. Active. Simplest tab tutorial. Or you know what? How do I do? Called like a formatted link. I don't need the. I don't need that. That was crazy. That was like heavy. Helps. I love putting that. Helps.
I have so many students who literally.
Yeah, this thing is sick. So this was the. Yeah, let me show you guys. Let me show you guys what I learned. Drop. Wait. Oh no. Oh, here you go. Tear out. Yeah, this. Oh, I don't have multi-pass on here. What the f. I might need to download it because that's key because it has this like convolve. Or you know what? Let's try. I might just be able to. Why not? I don't have any kilohertz stuff. Okay, hold on. Let's fix. Damn, I'm gonna need to download the kilohertz stuff. Check my email real quick. Hertz. Wait, where is my stuff? Is there like a kilohertz installer? Oh, kilohertz. Damn. Sorry guys, I'm struggling to. Not a Z. I was just doing it myself. Oh. Shoot. All right. Well, damn. I guess I can't show you guys that. That's a real bummer. So, well, let's see what it sounds like without. It's not as gnarly. Let's try and do it ourselves. So the only thing with the multipass is that you could apply the effects to just a certain part of the frequency spectrum. So let's try, and maybe the convolver isn't part of it. Damn it. Oh man. Oh, I think I may have found it. Kilohertz. I was spelling it wrong. Your kilohertz license. Low. Kilohertz installer. Oh, no. I don't want that. I want for Mac. All right. We're going to get there, guys. I really want to show you this. This thing is in the background here. I am downloading low hertz. All this bad boy. All right, we're doing it live. This is literally the live show for producers. Doing it live. Or while I wait, I guess. Dang. Oh, all right. Let's open it back. Live because it's a problem. So we want select. Yeah, I must not have had the premium something enabled. I don't know. Unsure. Yeah, but this was very sick, so we'll give it a minute. Anyway, while we're waiting here, just wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate you. This is what we do. Seem to be going very quick, does it? Well, I guess I can tell you about it in the meantime. So the multipass is essentially like the way that you would think of a multiband compressor, where with a compressor you can, do certain stuff to certain frequency range. So if you put it on the high end, so every time the high end gets to a certain level, you can add that effect. With the multipass, you can do I think virtually all of the kilohertz effects you can target to a specific frequency. So like for a lot of this stuff, especially with dubstep, you want to leave that low end alone. For the most part, I mean, obviously you can do whatever the hell you want, but to kind of keep the integrity of the bass intact, a lot of the times you're actually not doing a whole lot down there. You're really, you're amplifying, you're layering on the high end, but the low end you're just kind of leaving. So this makes it a little bit easier to do that, and hopefully it can do it pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. Yeah. Just listen to some tunes in the meantime. What did I release last? No, not Nicki. Who is that? Wait, what? You type in my name, Nicki Minaj comes up first? Bro, what the fuck? Is that right? There we go. I was gonna say that is messed up, yeah. Install faster.
You sharpen your blade with the revenge all across your face. Got your EPA stuck in my side. Be happy now, I'm bleeding out. Hey. Yeah, and I just wanted to show you what I was made of. Or maybe just an avenue to prove to myself that my life isn't just a waste of time. And now you say you only wanted me to stay, even as I'm laying on my side, just waiting here to die. Like you're too late. You only want to see me, want to see me. See the light running away from my eyes. You wished, you prayed, you only wanted to see me. Kiss me, now you gotta kiss my grave. Now there's no place you'll be safe. You only want to see me, yeah, you only wanted me to stay, just to see me bleed out of my eyes, just waiting here to die for you. How you gonna see me, only wanted me to die. Now you're gonna see me.
That's my music. Let's see. Constantly debating, what are y'all using right now for saturators? Constantly debating buying saturators like Sausage Fattener or Kelvin and others. But honestly, I don't want to waste my money anymore. Which saturators are people actually using right now? Let's see what people are using. Yeah, Ableton stock. MSAT. I feel like I keep seeing Melda plugins being mentioned a bunch, and I keep hearing that their user interface is great. Oh, sponsored. All right, they're messing around here, putting some ad dollars to work to make sure that I click on that shit. And you know what? If I see that it's sponsored, never click on that shit. I don't want them tracking me, even though they're probably tracking me regardless. Let's see, which one were they talking about? M Saturator by Melda. M Saturator. Oh, like multi-band one. Sale, $26. Geez, this really Melda plugin. Jesus, they have a lot of stuff. Huh. I wonder, someone's using saturator. What I want. See if someone else. Melda. What does this guy say?
I never use saturators when I'm mastering. People think they should be saturating everything, but I don't saturate using a dedicated saturator. I use something like this. I use like old tape machines or plugins that are emulations of old bits of kit. So there's more kind of natural saturation coming through the sounds of these emulations rather than just slamming a load of saturation on from a saturator. When I'm mixing,
I feel like some of these videos, you know, they just say so much so quickly. And what was he actually saying? He's saying, don't use a saturation plugin, but use a plugin that I know saturates, but just differently. Okay.
completely different. This is all about mastering. I never use I keep getting asked what saturators I use for mastering. Let me tell you, I don't use any saturators at all. So I don't use the Saturn or anything like that because I just find that it's overkill. I'm using loads of emulation plugins. I'm also using hardware. I find I've got enough saturation going on naturally without adding more. I know if you haven't got a load of gear and you haven't got bits of kit, then you might want to add a touch of saturation. But I always find, even when I'm using 1 or 2 plugins and that's all I'm using, it doesn't really need saturators on there to sort of like.
This isn't really about the
here we have
Melda
another
stuff,
example
is
of-
it? Oh, wait. Maybe that's M polysaturator.
So here we
That's
have
good.
another example of a really cool Melda production plugin which I've stumbled into. It's called MPolysaturator. They use the word saturate, but really it's more like a harmonic additive system. There's something to Melda's
Interesting.
plugins where they seem to have a little bit of a spring to them, where they have a little bit more life in the sound and the algorithm than your average plugin. Somehow they're also sanitized. Anyway, here's the sound. And as we change the buffer, we get a little smoother or a little bit more grungy. So the chord becomes less discernible as well. Anyway, there's a couple more options.
Interesting. Camel Crusher. Oh man, I used to love Crusher. Wonder if is that even still available? Safe copy of it. Yeah. Wait, no way. This looks like a fake website. That is messed up. I feel like this is not. Yeah, what the hell? That is not nice. That is not nice at all. That is full on spam. Anyway, all right, let's see if this is. Oh my gosh, this is still going. All right, guys, I might have to show you in a separate video or something. This looks like take a long time. But essentially, let me go back to I'll go back to the Ableton set and I'll show you what's going on. I can go through most of the steps that the Tarot guy was talking about. That was mostly it, guys. I mean, honestly, I just wanted to hang with you about music. You guys are always welcome to say anything you want. Say what's up. Ask a question in the chat. That's really what this is for. Just to chill with people that want to learn more about making music, that like making music. If you like making music yourself, happy to have you here. So let's go ahead. Love how my default set is like totally out of date. But that's the vibe. Folks, drums, bass, other. 4 components. Literally any song you could possibly make. Just makes it easier because every single project has that. Oh, oh, baby. Oh, 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 baby. Ah, ah, da, 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 da. It's funny. I have my actual microphone right here. I had to put it out of frame because it felt like it was just blocking too much stuff. So I'll put Mr. Manley in his home. So anyway, where was this? Yeah, this bass is actually pretty simple. Oh, it's there now. Oh, baby, done. Yeah. Oh, just in time. Oh shoot. Okay. That's what I wanted to show you. So, let's take this off. This is all it is. Literally just any waveform with automating the wavetable. So it'll go like this as it goes down. And then we have the cutoff. I didn't really change anything. I literally just slapped this on there. And then I did the same thing, automated the frequency here. So basically this is a bandpass notch. The bandpass is this part of it. And then the notch is just this little thing right here that'll get kind of moving around just to create a little bit of extra movement. And then I added some distortion. That's literally it. Oh, and pitch automation. So there's a pitch envelope here. So it goes from high to low. Really just want that like little poke at the front. And then the multipass is where all the flavor. Freaking sick, right? So there are two kind of elements of this. First is the phase distortion, so we'll do without either. You can play around with this too. Like. Then the convolver is the magic sauce. Holy God, that's loud. Hold on. You try messing around. Whew. Yeah, very fun. Very fun indeed. Anyway, I'm going to play around with that a lot more. Oh, and of course the OTT. Anyway, that was the change out. That was the tutorial that changed my life. Anyway, I think that about does it for tonight. So y'all, thank you. Thank you very much for staying with me for the first episode of the Sounds and Sights show. Expect more to come. Really this is just to kick it with you guys. I just want to show you anything and everything that I can, anything that'd be helpful. And of course, this is just a forum for you to ask questions, for you to get your questions answered, or if you just want to hang out and chill and watch music. If there's something specific that you want me to talk about or to cover, please let me know. Let me know in the comments, or you can follow me on any of the places that I am on social media. So with that, I will say thank you so much. And this will be a new show going forward. So I will see you next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. So cheers to you, your musical journey, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much for joining.